The government of Guyana is a signatory to the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, and that requires the government to implement recommendations outlined in the convention. Under the previous administration, that is the PPPC government, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, had faced challenges dealing with the then government. The then government allegedly gave the UN a host of problems, including the lack of full cooperation in fulfilling its obligations. But now, things appear to be changing.
And now we are reviewing the implementation by the Guyanese authorities of this convention. We never obtained any response, and now with the new government, we are obtaining strong responses that the fight against corruption goes for real.
Amado Philip DeAndres, regional representative, Regional Office for Central America and the Caribbean, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. The Panamanian-based UNODC representative was at the time speaking to reporters after holding talks with representatives of the Legal Affairs Ministry along with his small delegation from the local UN office. Some of the obligations required by government under the convention include ensuring that there are UN-certified compliance officers in some ministries and the implementation of an anti-corruption diploma with specialization on transparency,
which could be, kind of like the entry door to anti-corruption, to good practices, to good anti-corruption practices for any government official at the technical level in any line ministry. Another aspect we are very interested in working with is private sector. The private sector has a major role. Guyana will have an expanding private sector in the next 5 years. And something we would like to explore is how the private sector will work hand in glove with the government of Guyana and the Attorney General's office.
For Attorney General Basil Williams, the government is interested in remedying the corruption situation in Guyana.
So we welcome the proposals, and these discussions have really opened certain avenues for us that we could follow.
In the coming weeks, some proposals will be passed to the government through the office of the UN Resident Coordinator, of which government could either approve or make recommendations to the UN.
Once that happens, which could probably take place in October, we would be ready, provided that funding is available for what the government needs, which hopefully will be available. We could start sometime between December and January of next year.
Guyana had been listed among some of the most corrupt countries in the world by Transparency International. The country has also been dubbed a drug transshipment point, with drug mules being caught regularly. UNODC is mandated to assist member countries in their struggle against the use and distribution of illicit drugs, crime, and terrorism. UNODC operates in all regions of the world through an extensive network of field offices and relies on voluntary contributions, mainly from governments, for 90% of its budget. Handel Duncan, HGP Nightly News.